stream of yellow liquid dribbled from a tap, reminding Paul of the cube of feces he'd removed from the studio toilet that morning. He scanned the room to take his mind off it. A group of pensioners stood soldered to the bar, while in a corner, a withered lump of rags, male, female, Paul couldn't make out, sat hunched over a half of stout. Paul paid for his lager and ripped open the nuts, tipping a handful down his throat. They tasted like rabbit droppings. He checked the expiry date, 1991. Any older and they'd have come with a health warning. He tossed the droppings onto the bar and went to sit down. Perhaps the pub was a front, a gambling den. There couldn't be any other reason for its existence. Most of the neighbourhood locals had been turned into Irish shanties, serving Murphys, sawdust and a non-stop diet of high-diddly-didos, catering to ruddy-faced city boys who would break into knee-capping versions of Riverdance while bellowing, "It's the way I tell 'em," to any spare bint within yardage. If the breweries weren't erecting shrines to the Irish, it was all going gastro, a bowl of thick soup for the price of a shoe, served with musty black bread supped by blue-eyed Trustafarians braying about Permatans, Pilates and Punta del Este. Perhaps this was the place for him after all, Paul decided. He reached for his copy of the Mirror, only to realise he must have left it back at his father's. All that remained for him to do was stare at the lumps of gristle dotted around the room, while trying to convince himself that somehow his own life was different.